While my expectations may be high, I will never expect the impossible. Perhaps select an offering next year that lends more to its symbolism than its value in gold. Sincerely, His Imperial Highness. Did you get all that? Good. That's the last of them. Set it to the side with the others. Now all that's left is to seal them and have them distributed to their appropriate representatives. And they can all be on their ways home. Shitonia? Ah, I will be writing that letter personally. You needn't concern yourself with that. Now, on to more important things. I have a meeting with the Imperial Council in about an hour, and I'd like you to take notes. Yes, I know your hand is sore. That is why you'll be taking an early lunch while I finish up here. Eat in your sitting room. I'll retrieve you when it's time for the meeting. When I'll have lunch. I don't have time for that today. I had breakfast in the morning, and I'll eat dinner this evening. Yes, I know I'll be hungry, but I'll survive. Don't look at me that way. There's a lot that I have to do for closing of the Festival of Bounty, and it must be done in a timely fashion. Yes, I do have a lot of work to do. Why do you sound surprised? Oh, of course, because having the well-being of an entire empire on my shoulders would be such a light burden to bear. Believe it or not, Gift, the more power a position holds, the more work it takes to hold it well. You would do well by remembering that. Just go into your sitting room. I'll have my servant meet you there and ask you what you would like for lunch. Try to rest your hands, all right? I will fetch you when I need you. Enter. Didn't I tell you to take your lunch in your sitting room? Gift, what are you doing here? What is this? You told the kitchen staff to send a meal for both of us. Gift, I already told you. I don't have time to... What? No, I'm not neglecting myself. As I just explained... What will my subjects think? Oh, that's playing dirty. You should take more care to watch your tongue, Gift, lest you get yourself into serious trouble. Fine. If it's so important to you, I'll humor you this once. The council meeting will be insufferable on an empty stomach anyways. There. Happy now? Alright, no need to look so smug. Sit. Eat. There's only one tray and it'll be a hassle to separate everything. So you might as well take your lunch here. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I would prefer it. I'm curious what you think of the dish. Have you ever had low elf stew before? Living so far north, Do you even know what a low elf is? How did you even know to request it then? You asked the kitchen for two of whatever I usually preferred. Well, I suppose it's good to know that the kitchen staff is still familiar with my taste. This bird is called loef. It's a seabird, imported from the Mulel estate on the southern coast. They make their nests in the crevices of cliffs overlooking the bay, and despite their size, they're quite agile. Catching them is a challenge, which makes them a delicacy on its own. But they are also quite good. Go ahead, try some. I assume you like it then. I'll have to take you with me when I visit Mulel someday. The chefs here do an excellent job at preparing loef, but there is only so much they can do with a frozen bird. You will enjoy trying it fresh, I think. But no, I don't mean it like that. I visit Mulel at least once every few years anyway. As my assistant, it's only natural that you come with me. No, I am not interested in spoiling you. I simply find your joy amusing, is all. Meals like this are an everyday pleasure to myself and most others who frequent the Imperial Palace. It's a curiosity to me to see an outsider's impression of them. What? You were readily fed in Shitonia? So the minister had you captive for the entire festival season, and you were barely fed more than scraps for an entire 2 months? That is something I would need to address in my letter. What? No, don't say that. I'm glad you told me. The more I know of your mistreatment at the minister's hands, the better. Count Lu did not work as hard as he did to peacefully acquire the territory that formed Shitonia, only for an irate master to abuse and frighten the people there. That is not how things are done in my empire. My reasoning is not kindness, Gift. It's common sense. My predecessor ruled with an iron fist of fear and abuse, and all that got him was assassinated. That is not a legacy I desire to continue, and it appears the Minister of Shitonia needs to be reminded of what era he's in. Hmm? What do you mean? No, my predecessor's death does not make me fear for my own life. If anything, it reassures me. My uncle laid out a clear example of what not to do as emperor. So as long as I continue not to be him, my long life is fairly well assured. Of course, there will always be people who are dissatisfied with my monarchy, and there will always be foreign threats. But being approved by your people means being protected by them as well. I don't have time to worry about nonsense like assassination attempts anyway. Yes, just like I don't have time to worry about lunch. Speaking of, we should hurry and finish. It's almost time for that meeting. How are your hands? Are they still sore? You'll get used to it. Here, take your bowl and walk with it. We will pass the tray to a servant before we enter the council room. Got it? Good. Come along. There will always be more work to be done.